So as you can see in the pregame, we're at the Bushrod Recreation training for tailor-made officials. So we're trying something new today. We're trying to give live feedback as they referee so they can instantly go to our YouTube channel and be able to watch the footage and get some pointers, as well as pointers at Alexia, the young lady in the orange shirt right there. She'll be in charge of the training. So I'm trying to MC, also run the scoreboard and give some pointer as well. So I'm doing 3 jobs. So a lot of work went into this, but we're finally able to see if it'll finally come together. So we got a good toss. So official did a good job calling out of bounds. He's got to be sure to use his voice and point the direction, and then already know the spot to go. Right now our trail should have had a stronger 10-second count. So we get to see the lead is watching the ball, and the ball is not in his area, so we have to go over with him the areas of responsibility. He's also standing on the court as opposed to not out of bounds. Good travel call, good signal. Be sure to drop the whistle from your mouth and say travel nice and loud so everybody can hear you. So when the shot goes up, it will be important for the lead official to not follow the ball with his eyes. And you can see how his head moves and tracks the ball. You want to watch the shooter from the floor up and all the way down and a little bit after for illegal contact. So as opposed to pointing to the floor with both hands, you want to say color number consequence when you give a foul. And we want to have stronger mechanics when we report our fouls to the table. So when the lead chops, he wants to forcibly chop, and he's still watching the ball on shot. Good out of bounds call. Good job getting the arm straight up and pointing the proper direction and initiating the rotation. But again, we want to add voice to our call, so we want to say green ball in line when the ball goes out of bounds. Good foul call, good mechanics. You want to say what you have at the spot and then go to the table. You also want to maintain eye contact with the scorekeeper as you report your fouls. So our trail's doing a good job of counting the 10 seconds for the free throw or the shoot. Good job calling the violation and signaling who ball it is. Now you want to signal where. Or you want to signal the next shot if that's the consequence of the violation. So the shooter violated and the ball didn't hit the rim, so those calls should have came from the trail. So as the ball is shot, it'll be important for the trail to stay engaged and step to the rim as opposed to drifting back in transition. So we had a good foul call, good foul mechanics. So before, when we call our fouls at the spot, we want to say what we have and then go to the table. Looks like somebody's been practicing their free throws. So right now you can see that the new lead is still watching the ball as opposed to the players. So in transition, we also want to go over the proper areas of coverage. During that three-point shot, it would have been nice if our lead was wide, closer to the sideline. So we can see the trail lean a little bit. Again, posture, we want to stand straight up. Trail, we want to have him trail the ball and stay behind the play. You can see he's clearly out in front. Now we need him to position adjust to get an open look. So as the ball moving, he should be moving to get the open look or get the proper angle. So since the ball went out of bounds on the lead's line, it should be the lead blowing the whistle and signaling the direction if that official knows the direction. So for those of you guys interested in becoming an official, there's some information right there, a couple of emails to contact myself and Will if you're interested in officiating. We'll give you the training and the opportunity to officiate. You'll be joining one of the most innovative referee associations in the world, as you can see. I don't think there's any association in the world doing live breakdowns at the moment. So you can see Alexia giving them some on the court pointers as well. Then when they go home, they can be able to watch this video and get some more pointers. So we're getting back to the action of the game. Good out of bounds. A good signal. So when she gave the ball the inbound, she should have counted 5 seconds and chopped her hand, the signal to start the clock. So right now, change of possession. So our trail should be counting the 10 seconds for backcourt. It looks like we have it out of bounds. Now it's important to take the ball out where the violation happened. We can see the lead make our way over there. I believe the ball went out of bounds on the sideline. I'm assuming because the trail will only blow her line, but the ball was inbounded on the end line. We had a good foul, a double whistle. So when we have double whistles, we want to communicate with our partners to make sure we're calling the same foul, as opposed somebody may have a travel, somebody may have a foul. They may have a foul on 2 different players, so one player has 4 fouls, and the next foul is going to foul them out, so we want to put the foul on the proper player. So it's all about communication. We want to communicate if it's a 2-shot foul or a non-shooting foul. Then we had another double whistle. The officials made eye contact. Whoever foul was in the primary official took it to the table. So you can see our lead did a good job of waiting for the trail to get ready as she was giving instructions. You had a good travel call. Now, depending on where that violation is going to depend on where the inbound is. So if it was outside the triangle, it will go to the sideline. If it's inside the triangle, it will go to the end line. What's up? So it's important that our lead official beats the play to the end line and not get beat. So you want to get all the way to the end line and accept the play coming towards you. So we're gonna get back to live action. Should be white ball. They have the ability to run the inline since they're coming off of a made basket. So our official administering the throw-in should notify the player that they have the ability to run the inline. You can see the good hustle by the lead official get to the end line. So when she tells the scorekeeper to foul, you want to tell everybody what the player did. So either number 3 push, number 3 block, and you want to have the proper hand signal with the foul that you called so everybody knows what the call is. So we had a jump ball. So the official who's facing the table should look at the scores table to see where the arrow is pointed. Unfortunately, there's no arrow at the table right now. So they have to rely on their memory on who won the toss and who got the last jump ball. Good jump ball. You can see the officials make eye contact. Good shot. See the trial, a good 10-second count, maintaining distance with the ball in transition. So in that situation, it will be important for the trail to get to the center of the court to officiate the play on the sideline. So you want to get that angle to officiate the play. Good travel call, good mechanic. And that time we actually heard her voice on that play. I forgot to start the clock. So you can see it right now. Alexia's giving the feedback to Tailor to get the proper angle on that on traps in the corner in transition. So it looks like the game's about to restart. Oh, so the coach tried to pull a smooth one to say it was his ball, so it's important that when play ends, we know whose ball it is and where it's at, so there's no confusion. So you can see the lead has their arm up. Count, good chop. Just gotta be a little bit more stronger and forceful with their mechanics and hand signals. Good out of bounds, a good voice. It'll be important to let the whistle drop from your mouth instead of trying to talk with the whistle in your mouth. Looks like that'll end the first quarter or the first half.
Little kids. Oh, yeah.
double report.
Okay. Is that enough? Is that enough?
Yes.
I'll put it next to you, okay?
Thank you. Huh?
You get the money? Send it to you.
When?
Yeah, I did, Kenny.
I sent you a request.
Yeah, that's how I did it. I said okay to the request. Oh, I'm about to do that right now. Yeah, pay attention. No. It's flipping. They got a flip flop. They got to go out. Take a look.
Okay, I gotta check.
Hey, spread out. Offense, we got the ball, right? Spread out. Hey, that's our court. David, that's our court.
So we're getting ready to start the second half. We have brand new officials, Lisa and Marissa. So we need our lead official behind the end line and a little closer to the action. We can see Alexia going down there right now to give her some pointers. Good out of bounds call by Marissa. Report further, use your voice. Good foul call by Marissa. So when she calls that foul call, it will be important for her to stay in on the action to make sure the players are okay and they don't retaliate. You don't want to turn your back away from the action. So when a player gets injured and the coach comes on the floor to check on them, the coach either must call a timeout to keep that player in the game or substitute for the player, and the player that substitutes will shoot the free throws. So we're about to get to the action. We got 2 shots.
Take your time, Jay.
So when the ball goes out of bounds, it's important for the official to put her arm straight in the air to signal a violation and point the direction. You also want to show some confidence and point in the proper direction to let everybody know you got the call right. So when Marissa called that foul, it's important that she says what she has, where the ball is going to be inbounded, and then report the foul to the table. So it looks like the player was confused and wanted to give the ball to the official, but after a made basket, You're supposed to pass it to your teammate. It looks like he stepped onto the court, which resulted in a violation. So it's important that our trail official trails the play. Right now you can see that she's slightly ahead of the play. So when she gave the illegal use signal, she did it above her head. So you want to keep everything in the box, which is shoulder length high. In the chest there, you want to keep everything in that window. Good jump ball call. So you can see when she reported the timeout, she gave a 30 and the full. Now I'm going to go ahead and see if I can fix the camera. So it's important that our lead is wide with the ball and parallel. As you can see, she was in on the inside. So right now you can see the game clock is frozen at 9 minutes and 6 seconds. So it's important that the referee on the court notices the clock. As we come in transition, you can see the clock is still at 9 minutes and 6 seconds. So there's some confusion with the score. So it looks like we're ready to resume play. So when you're the off official, it's important that you go to the spot of the violation for the throw-in. Give the ball to the right team and resume the game. So it looks like we have a foul call, a hit on the arm. So it's important that when we call our fouls, that we have a closed fist. We say what we have, and then we go to the scores table and report the foul with the proper number. So after you blow your whistle to tell the player to give him 3 feet for the throw-in, you're going to take the ball from the player you gave it to and re-administer the throw-in. So So you can see we got a new official out there learning for maybe the first time how to officiate. We can see Alexia giving her some pointers. So who's ever the trail official, which will be Leslie at the moment, she'll be in charge of bringing in the subs to and from the table. So we have an out of bounds. We have the official point the right direction. Just be sure to put your arms straight up in the air and then point. And as you point, say the color. So we would say white as you point. Then you want to bounce the ball to the player for throw-ins as opposed to toss it to him. Especially going away from the basket. So right now we had a jump ball. It looks like our lead was keeping the possession arrow with our lanyard as there's no arrow at the table. A good 5-second count, 10-second count with the chop from Marissa. So the ball gets swung wide. It's important that our lead takes a couple of steps wide. As you can see, she's too close to the paint. So we had a foul call again when we call our fouls. When we call our fouls, it's important to say what we have at the spot and then turn to the table and report. So when we have a player tying their shoes when the ball is dead, we want to let that player finish tying their shoes and then resume the action. So when Marissa called that foul, it's important that she says white 11 push, green ball inline, then turn to the table and report the foul. as you can see, we had a little confrontation on the court, so we don't want to turn our backs from the players. We want to make sure we step in, we separate the players if they commit any unsporting acts, which occurred when two players go chest to chest. It's important that we administer technical fouls at that situation. So it looks like the game clock got reset to minute 30. I believe it's stop clock. So it'll be important for the officials that when a whistle is blown to make sure that the clock is stopped, considering we have a tie game. We're coming down late. Good call by Marissa. Good switch. Timeout was called. Timeout was granted. So we're ready to resume action. Now it's important when we have timeouts that we keep the timeouts on schedule, whether it be a 30-second or a full timeout. We don't want to have 5-minute timeouts, 3-minute timeouts. We want to keep the game moving along. So when we had the foul call, we had a player slam the ball, which is unsportsmanlike, and we also had a coach be very irate. So to keep the game under control, we're going to want to call unsportsmanlike fouls or technical fouls for unsportsmanlike behavior. So that's the end of the game. We had a good competitive game.